This is a 50-30 constructed game of sorcery played at Portland Game Store in Portland, Oregon. And up top is Kellen playing a witch deck, and on the bottom of the screen is Jesse playing a Battlemage deck. I'm actually pretty excited to watch this footage because I was there at the game store when they started the game, but I didn't have a chance to catch the entirety of the gameplay live. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this game went for them. So they're looking at mulligans right now. Jesse's hand looks pretty good for the curve. He's got a unicorn, and he's got a berry in hand. He's going to tap for a site. I believe it was a hunter's lodge. No, I'm sorry. It was an aqueduct. Kellen's going to play out a color out of space and pass turn. Color out of space, not a bad first turn site, just to immediately get your mana or threshold fixing in. This is going to play a turn 2 Troll Bridge, which is a decent site to play. It's your turn 2. It makes it difficult for your opponents to advance and attack into it without taking those penalties. Kellen's turn 2 site is a Kelp Cavern, and he gets to look at the bottom 3 cards from his deck and choose one and surface it and put it on the top of his deck. So that's one of those cards that it gives you some additional capabilities to dig through your deck if you're looking for a specific card. Battlemage is going to tap for another site. It is going to be a Quagmire. Quagmire will make everything immobile nearby, but that is okay. He plays out his unicorn, and again, the unicorn doesn't have charge, so it doesn't matter if he has to wait until his next turn. Kellen's gonna play a desert, ping the unicorn site for 1 point of damage, and then play Pukas and pass turn. The Pukas can be an annoying card. It forces you to have to discard a card at random if you end up killing them on death right. So it makes it really unpalatable, especially early game, to want to remove them from the board. But if he wants to do anything with the unicorn this turn, that's kind of what he has available to him. He is Jesse's playing an Undertow, and he's using the Undertow to advance the Battlemage, which is what the Battlemage wants to do. It wants to be able to move forward into a position where it's able to attack. And then he does end up deciding to attack into the Puka with the unicorn, and he's going to lose a random card. And then he'll end up passing turn, I believe. The card he lost looks like Genesis Gnomes. And then with his 4 mana for turn, because he hasn't cast the spell yet, he's going to play a Helpful Hob to untap the Battlemage, and then use the Battlemage to attack in for 3 points of damage. Kellen's going to tap for a Funeral Pyre, and that will remove the single card in the cemetery, the gnomes. He now has 4 mana per turn. He is going to play, I think that was a Polymorph. So he polymorphed the unicorn to remove that as a threat. And then he passed turn. Jesse accidentally grabbed his berry instead of his bodyguard, but he casts the bodyguard to the troll bridge, and then he attacks in with the Battlemage for 3, and he attacks in with the Hob for 1. Kellen's opting for a sight, and if he's opting for a sight, that means that, to me, that says for some reason he doesn't have the thresholds he needs. He gets a Joyous Guard, and he plays that out, and that is going to lock out the color out of space. I don't know if he was aware of that or not. But 4 points, 4 mana to summon the Hob, which will untap the Witch, and I believe he calls -3 power to Avatar to try to nullify the damage that the Battlemage is going to be swinging in for each turn. So until Kellen's next turn, the Battlemage is 0 power. Jesse's going to attack in with his own Hob for 1. And attack into the site with the bodyguard. Kellen will opt to block that with the, or defend that with the Hob. And then it looks like Jesse repositioned the frog by moving it onto the desert. And then he's going to play an egg for a turn. For 2 mana. And I think that's got to be the last play on his turn here. Kellen spends 2 for a Horn of Caerleon. He is again calling -3 power on the Battlemage. He's just trying to tap down at this point with the Witch every turn to stem the 3 power advantage that Jesse has with the Battlemage. But the bodyguard is going to go ahead and swing into the desert for 4 points. And the Hob will have swing in where it is again for 1. Going to play a Goswit Helm onto the Battlemage, which grants it protection the first time it's struck, and then the helm will bounce back to his hand. So Kellen's a little backed into a corner right now, but he does still have some opportunities to stabilize. He's going to call -3 power again, and he's going to play the Sea Raider. Because he has the Horn of Caerleon out, it can attack it first turn it comes in with charge. The ability will trigger when he kills the Hob, and he top decks a Disenchant off of Jesse's deck, which he can then cast and use. So he chooses to use it to dispel the Goswit Helm. Not a bad turn for Kellen. Jesse's moving the frog token back. I'm not quite sure why he did that. Maybe to be a little more defensive and spread out his minions. He's going to play a boss troll. He's going to attack into the desert for another 4 points. And boss troll would have been two mana to cast, so he has 2 more mana for turn. But it looks like he passed. Kellen's drawing a spell for turn. He has the Sea Raiders now. He casts Nelly onto his water site, and because it is nearby the horn, he can immediately activate it with charge to drag the bodyguard over to Kelp Cavern and drown it, which was a great play. He's calling -3 power, and he attacked into... No, he didn't attack in, he just moved the Sea Raider to the desert. I think he chose to move instead of attacking because he didn't want, at this time, he probably didn't want to give Jesse the option to block and trade with the boss troll. So Nelly on the board now limits where the troll can reliably go unless Jesse's able to remove Nelly, which it looks like he has an option to do that now. So he's going to play the Hob to untap the troll and then use the troll to attack in and kill Nelly. And then he's going to pass turn back because the Battlemage was still untapped. If we're talking about optimizations, he probably could have tapped the Battlemage to draw a sight at that point, just to have a sight. He probably didn't need the Battlemage untapped for any sort of defense. Kellen calls -3 power again, and he's going to play another Sea Raider. And again, that Sea Raider, because it's nearby the Horn of Corleone, can attack this turn if he wants to. He's shrinking the troll, and then he's going to attack the troll. Yeah, so he's using one Sea Raider to attack the Battlemage. He's using one to try to attack the troll, I think. The Hob blocks, and we top deck a Sly Fox, which Kellen plays for 1. And it has charge because of the horn, so he'll attack him for 1 point. I'm not quite sure what the interactions were with those Sea Raiders. I don't know. I think maybe he attacked both. I think maybe he attacked both, in with both, onto the Battlemage. Jesse tries to move his boss troll to a desert and then cave in to remove these 2 Sea Raiders, but he forgot that they're on a kelp cavern, and he can't bury anything on a water site. Looks like he has a blue cap, which is a 3 power minion. With Burrow, he's going to cast it burrowed under the Quagmire. And then pass turn, and because he has that egg, he's just ticking back up at the end of each turn. And now I see what he was doing with the frog earlier. He was just moving the frog back to pick up the egg and then submerge it to make it harder for Kellen to interact with and deal with. Which was not a bad use for the frog token. It was a good way to you know, make lemonade out of lemons. Kellen plays Captain Balthasar and attacks the Quagmire. Balthasar, again, like the Sea Raiders, is going to have a similar function. And Jesse chooses to block and trade. So now he's looking at what his options are to cast. And he's going to cast the Shrink onto the Bosk Troll. And then attack the Bosk Troll with the Raider, which will force a... Jesse's going to defend once with the Battlemage and take 3 points of damage. But yeah, because the Battlemage is tapped from the first defense, he can then swing in with the second Raider to remove the Bosk Troll. And the Sea Raider is going to force the top deck, but unfortunately Kellen is out of mana for turn. And then the Fox also attacked the Quagmire for 1 point of damage. And then he passes turn. The egg will tick up at the end of Kellen's turn for a point of health. And unfortunately now the Sea Raiders are on a land site, and Jesse uses that cave-in that he teased earlier accidentally. Kellen's gonna get ready here. See, he has 5 mana. He is again calling -3 on the Battlemage. Kind of has to, otherwise he's gonna end up getting he's gonna swing for door. And the Fox is gonna deal a point of damage, but the egg it's 1 point per round versus 2 points per round on the egg, so it's not enough to overcome that advantage, unfortunately. Jesse put out the Screaming Skull just to have it, and he's moving the Battlemage into position, even though it is currently at -3 power, so currently at 0 power, just to get a better positioning on it. Kellen plays out a Lugbog Cat. And then he's gonna swing with the Fox again for the last for another point of damage, and then pass. I think it's kind of futile to swing with the Fox, just because the egg is going to continue to tick up at the end of every turn, and so I don't think that really even nets him anything. So optimal play would probably be to leave the Fox untapped or reposition it somewhere, just to have an option for a blocker in some fashion. Jesse gets another Bosk Troll out. Which is going to be difficult because it threatens to take him to door at that point. Kellen's going to try to attack in with a Lugbog Cat, but that's going to be defended with the Frog token. Kellen's then going to advance forward with the Sly Fox and attack for 1. And again, the egg just keeps ticking up at the end of every turn. Looks like Jesse also drew a Devil's Egg, so he's running both Angel's Eggs and Devil's Eggs in his deck. And yeah, he's gonna be cute about it, and he's gonna play the Devil's Egg into the hands of the Battlemage, which would take him to door eventually. I don't know why you wouldn't just attack with the troll this turn to take him to door now. Kellen's setting up for his turn. Let's see. Kellen's going to Geyser, really just for the cycle to be able to draw another card. He has 3 mana left this turn. 3 for a Ribble Bogart. And honestly, just because I think he needed a blocker at that point. And then attack in for with the Fox just to start doing more damage. He's going to target the Battlemage with -3 power. And the Ribble Bogart will attack the Battlemage after it has been reduced to 0 power, because the Horn of Caerleon is giving the Ribble Bogart charge. So at this point, Kellen is at death's door, and I don't know if I feel like the troll attacked in previously and he was already at death's door, and they just were a little slow on recording it on the phone app. But Jesse, I think, is tapping his Battlemage because it's at 0 power to play a site. Might well play the site. He's going to make the Lugbog immobile, install that out on the next turn. He's going to play another blue cap, burrowed under the Quagmire again, and then he's moving the Bosk Troll into position. He's trying to box Kellen in to be able to do that final point of damage. Now they're going to roll random for the Ribble Bogart ability. So it's airborne, ranged, lethal, +3 power. I think 4 is was +3. So Ribble Bogart is like 3, and then +3 makes it 6. So if that's the case, he has the ability to take care of the Bosk Troll with it this turn, and also to tap the Witch to reduce the Battlemage power to 0 again, to maybe buy himself another turn here. So unless he has some more tricks up his sleeve, I imagine that's what we would see happen here. He does have that Horn of Caerleon. He's gotten a lot of value out of the Horn of Caerleon this game, despite being on the back foot for a large portion of it. Yeah, the Witch is tapping for -3 on the Battlemage again. Yeah, the Boggart, yeah, is swinging in for 6 points to take care of the troll. And he's gonna play Sir Agravain, and Agravain has charge. It is in range with charge from the horn. He's gonna attack for 1 with the fox. I think he's opting to leave Agravain untapped though, just as a defender, because yeah, he's at death's door right now. The Battlemage is at 0 power, but there are ways to get it to increase that power. We already saw on one of the top deck flips that Jesse is also running Sword and Shields. Jesse buried the Lugbog cat and then starts advancing the blue caps forward, burrowed under the desert. Losing the Lugbog is a little difficult, just because it removes some of Kellen's ability to keep chipping away at Jesse's health. It's really hard to overcome that two health point swing per round, because the egg ticks up at the end of every turn, each player's turn, which is a huge swing over the course of the game if left unchecked. He's moving the fox to attack for another point. He's firebolting for 3. He's just trying to get 3. He's just trying to get damage onto the avatar. And I think he's leaving the Boggart and Agravain untapped as defenders. I think he feels like he can't take those risks. Jesse played his own Lugbog cat all the way back on the back row, which is bad news for Kellen. Bogart has to random roll again. So after some rolling calculations, they settled on Airborne. The witch is gonna keep tapping again. Like he has to tap that witch every turn to bring the Battlemage to 0, just to stay alive at this point. Thankfully, he was able to get out a site base of 5 before it started doing that. Kellen cast a removal spell on the Lugbog. I couldn't quite see what that was. Maybe it was a Stormy Sea. And then he's going to, he's choosing to swing in with both of his minions to try to get closer to bring Jesse closer to door. Jesse plays a Rhongomyniad, and the Rhongomyniad is able to be thrown, and it will deal 3 points to the witch for the kill here. A really dynamic game. There were a lot of really cool plays. It was really fun to watch this one. Killen is really good at hanging on in games and just kind of staying alive and toughing it out into late game. And either he has answers, or his opponent is able to draw a kill spell to round it out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.